Hi, my name is Udit and I work in Germany as a finance professional. In today's video, we will be talking about the very fundamental nature of the markets. We will try and understand what drives the prices and the nature of the markets in general, and we will try and figure out, knowing this, what can we do to make ourselves better investors. So let us first try and understand, why do people get into the markets? Everyone gets into the markets because they want to get rich, they want to create wealth for themselves and their family members. And this has never been easier as we have it in the present, because due to the internet, due to the availability of information, participating in the market has never been so easy. Earlier, the barriers to entry were very high into the markets because this was limited to a very specific set of people, and the participation in the markets was not very democratic. Now, everyone who has the access to internet and has access to a bank account can start investing in the markets. So the barriers to entry have substantially gone down. What has not changed in the past 200 years is the nature of markets itself. The prices, the up moves and the down moves in the markets are driven by the emotions of greed and fear. Yes, the greed and fear of the market participants. So when the price go up in the market, we see our neighbors making money, we see the other people getting rich, and we don't want to miss out on the rally. So we try and board the bandwagon of the prices which are going up and try and participate in the bull run. What it does is that when the demand for the stocks increases, the price goes up, and as the price go up, more and more people want to buy because they see their neighbors getting rich, and the news spreads like wildfire. At the opposite, what happens is, when the situation is very dark, gloomy, the future does not look very bright, then the emotion of fear drives the markets. There is panic and there is negativity all around. So, what people do is that people try and sell the stocks. This drives the demand down and also the prices go down. You see your neighbor getting out of the market, you see a wave of panic in the market, you also panic and you end up selling. So in these two extremes, what we see is that in one case the emotion of greed drives up the demand, and in the other case the emotion of fear drives down the demand and the prices go down. This is the very fundamental nature of how markets behave. Also, we need to understand, how do these emotions come into play. The market participants, they have a view on the future outlook of the securities that they are buying. This future outlook depends on the economy, this future outlook depends on the macroeconomic situation, the interest rates, the policies, the political situation, and the geopolitical situation in that country or a specific geography. What these people do is that they try and discount the future into the present. They have the best estimate of the present, and this is discounted into the prices that are quoted in the market. But these situations, the macro situations, they keep on changing, and hence the market participants try and adjust their discounting and their outlook towards the future as the situations change. And this creates volatility in the market. Knowing this, as retail individual investors, what is the best thing that we can do? The first thing is that we need to keep ourselves abreast of what is going on in the economy, in the markets, or in the securities that we are interested in. We need to keep ourselves abreast about the recent happenings and their impact on our portfolio securities. And this is going to shape up our views in terms of either holding on to our securities or selling them. Because until we have the conviction in our hypothesis of buying or selling a security, we will not be able to take any decision, and we would want to depend on the others to take that decision. So as an independent investor, we should take responsibility for our portfolio. And how do we take the best responsibility for our portfolio, our savings and our investments, is by knowing what we are into and what to do about it. Second most important thing that we must do is, We need to understand how the markets are driven by these emotions, and we should try and insulate ourselves from these emotions. We should try and look at things objectively and not emotionally. For example, if something happens in the market which creates either a situation of greed or a situation of fear, we should question ourselves, is the hypothesis that I had while buying this security still intact? If the hypothesis is still intact, you don't need to sell that security. If the hypothesis has changed because of the new reality, then you can decide what you want to do with your security. But the price and the overall sentiment in the market should not determine your decision. So that is why it is very important to display an emotional maturity while dealing in securities and markets in general. The third thing, which is very important, what we as individual investors should do, and this is an outcome of the step one, which was knowing about what we are buying, what we are holding, and second is emotional maturity, is to allocate large amounts of money over a long period of time. And how do you allocate large amounts over a long period of time? Is by having a strong conviction and a belief in what you are doing. And this would come with time. When you make mistakes, when we make mistakes, we learn from our mistake and we iterate the process. This iterative process is a continuous journey. Nobody can say that I have mastered the art of investing. It is the process, and the process should be enjoyed at the most. That is what I am trying to do for the past 10 years, and I am trying to share all the learnings that I have gathered in the past 10 years and also learning in the process myself. So I hope this video was helpful. These insights help you to make better decisions in your investment journey. If you like the videos, please subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and do let me know in the comments what you liked and what you didn't like about the video. And also, in case you have any suggestions, any topics that you want me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. I will be more than happy to take them as new ideas. Till then, my friends, the only way to survive and thrive in the markets is to remember that we need to keep walking and remember that growth is life and enjoy the process. Thank you.